Hey, what is up? We are live, and this is very impromptu. Underdog decided to just spam the lobby full of all kinds of stuff. So we are going to draft until we can't draft anymore. Uh, Maybe I have a problem. That's fine. That's for me to decide and you guys to deal with. And we're gonna start by maxing the we're gonna start by maxing the engage 8, and then we're just gonna do the other ones until we can't anymore, basically. And yeah, I noticed there was the hey, what's up? I'm gonna assume that you're on the bottom rung of the survey. Then, uh, yeah, there are some snowdrifts around me that are like 3 foot tall. So it's all good. I definitely bottom rung. Yeah. Yeah, I assumed. All right, so we got JSN Ramondre. That's a pretty chalky start, but my theory today, and the reason I'm going to do a bunch of these is because I think I've seen it a little bit already too. Like people are balancing out their portfolio in this contest or in the other contest a little bit. But if everybody's doing that, like the chalk stuff is going to be less owned. Um, I've seen a lot more like Mac Hollins taken and stuff like that. So in my mind, today is actually a day to not do that. So that guy has a quarterback, so I will skip Darnold around. So I'm gonna kind of be a little more chalk on my picks today. I mean, I'll probably take like a share of Jaleel and Halani, maybe a Mac Hollins, something like that. But in my eyes, the average, like they're just looking at their whole portfolio. They're not thinking that each contest will have individual groupings of ADP and stuff. See, like Mac Hollins here goes to 17. Like Mac Hollins is going in, like I've done 4 of these, and I think Mac Hollins just went in every one. So I think that people are gonna scroll a little bit more, and it's gonna make the drafting by chalk a little more likely to hit. That's just my thoughts on today. And like, I don't have a lot of the Sam Darnold double stack stuff. I do like it. I've not gotten to a whole bunch of Blake Corum either. So he does go. I've got very, very little Cooper Cup. I prefer Shaheed, but we will go with Cup on this one. No snow yet in Florida. Got it. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest. There's snow everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. All right, so draft 1 tonight. We got Sam Darnold, Ramondre, JSN, Diggs, Cup, and the bring back from the double stack of Colby Parkinson. Pretty chalk. We're gonna see me do a bunch of chalk starts today. So everybody was expecting them to release the big board. If they do release the big board while I'm on stream, even if the game is going to go on, I am absolutely going to fire one up. That will happen. I will ignore the game. I'll put it on, but I will ignore the game and mostly pay attention to the draft. The hurry up 2 is already 50% filled. Like, that is crazy. And that's why they also put a mini royale out with 5,000 entrants in it. $5,000 to first, $10 entry. We are joining in Engage 8, and we'll be joining in 10 seconds. Got about 5, probably 5 more today. Yeah, I think we have about the same. So my job, I mean, I'm currently not working because I chose to not work, because they offer that. So, but we have the first time since this Sherwin-Williams, I think it's been 30 years. I believe this is the very first time they've ever closed the doors today. So the very first time they've ever closed the doors due to weather on this storm. Nice. I'm still holding out hope that they wait until the title games are over. Like if they launch the big board like 5 minutes after the conference championship game concludes, I will just go live again. And like, I mean, if nothing else, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will go live, but I will absolutely go live again. If it launches during the games, I'm just gonna wait, hold off. But I'm hoping they wait until after the game so I can fully enjoy the experience. And I can think that I'm making my money back that I lost today on the games. So if you watched last night and you stayed till the end, you've seen an absolutely wild pick'em. Not going to recommend you to tail, but if you like to tail wild pick'ems, I did put it in the Discord. All right. So once again, JSN. I do think there's an argument for Kenneth Walker over JSN. But I don't think there's a huge difference between Walker, Kyron, and Ramondre this week. I think that Walker is clearly above the other two, but I don't think it's to the extent that Puka and JSN are above Adams and Diggs and Sutton. What's up, Jamie? How we doing? I don't think I have a JSN plus Kyron, which is probably a reasonable common thing. So I wouldn't mind getting that, but I'm definitely going to take one of these two players here. Like I said, today is going to be a little more chalk. I think people are going to be balancing portfolio, doing some weird things. Like this guy just, yeah, he took Stafford Adams there. Then that guy is scared, and I'm not scared of Stidham. I did my blitz yesterday, and I had like 0 Drake May going into it. And I actually ended up with Drake May. I got him at 10. I had JSN. Then this guy had Stafford, right? Or he had Puka, so I assumed he would go Stafford. So I pushed him around the corner, and I took RJ Harvey there. And I really like the team. Yeah, we'll go with Diggs here. I haven't gotten to a whole bunch of Diggs either. I do like the Diggs play. I've taken a lot of 2 quarterbacks, or 2 like Puka, JSN plus Adams. I've taken a whole bunch of that, and I have a whole bunch of like Puka, RJ Harvey, and pulling Hunter Henry up. I think Hunter Henry is clearly the tight end one this week. And if you look at my exposures, you won't think that because I have 40% AJ Bartner. But the reason I have 40% AJ Bartner is because, like, I'm pushing quarterback in almost every draft. I don't think that May separates from everybody. He is the one that I think can separate the easiest. But yeah, I think that Hunter Henry is pretty clearly that guy. So I if I want Darnold, I probably take him here. So because the one hole doesn't have a quarterback, so we will take Darnold. This team's looking good. We got Sam Darnold, Kyron Williams, JSN, and Stephon Diggs. You get Undivine Martyr. I like the name. Hendo might be better than Stevenson today. I have Ingram. I just think Evan Ingram. Like I think he said something to Sean Payton early in the season, and that's why he's not getting used like he should be. I'm clearly Stevenson over Henderson, but I do think that like Henderson's receiving line is like 3.5 yards. That's something we explored last night on Underdog. Like you could scale Hendo's receiving yards to, I think it was 24.5. And it's like a 6x. Oh, they added one. There, too many people bet it last night, so they changed the odds on that. You're welcome, everybody. We changed Underdog odds. Congratulations to us. But like, anytime he catches a ball, there's a chance he just goes for 20, 25 yards, right? So I don't think that even though he's only caught 1 or 2 balls, like most games, and they don't like him in pass protection, they're probably going to need a lot of pass protection. Like, I get it, but that means that if they're bringing people and the ball gets to him, he's probably going to have more space. So I'm pretty in on that. This is a spot I think you could take Arroyo. I have a whole bunch of Terrence Ferguson. I kind of lean Ferguson over Higbee. That's my biggest stand this week. And I'm Ferguson over to Evan Ingram. I know you just said that you love Evan Ingram, but like, yeah, I totally get it. I just think that Pat Bryant being back, that's going to make sense. Although New England wasn't very good against tight end most years. So, like, I understand the Ingram spot for sure. I am JSN this week. I'm doing a lot of one running back builds. And I'm actually doing a lot of double tight end builds. That's why I have so much AJ Barner. I'm doing a lot of, like, Hunter Henry plus Colby Parkinson, or Hunter Henry plus AJ Barner, like, or AJ Barner plus, and I mix in all of the Rams tight ends. I think that this could be a week that, like, if you have Puka JSN, you're kind of already betting that Kenneth Walker's not going to be the guy, right? So to double down on that, you're just saying that whatever you take in the second round, if it's Kyron, RJ Harvey, or Ramondre, that they may just be RB1 on the slate. So, and like, if you take, let's say you got Ramondre, right? That to me means you're not going to have Drake May most likely, because you're just, the ADPs don't work out. So like, you probably skip on Hunter Henry, and then you could take like AJ Barner plus a tight end on the other side of that, and you just get the late Darnold, right? Because people give you late Darnold. And we're joining another draft in 10 seconds. So this team, we ended up with Sam Darnold, Kyron Williams, Travion Henderson, JSN, Stephon Diggs, and Terrence Ferguson. So like, in a 3-game slate, or a two game slate, and like, it's a showdown, right? Like, we've seen a lot of showdowns where tight end works, like double tight end works. And if you're just popping in, if you can smash the like, that would be fantastic. And I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but I do think that this is the style of week that it's more likely. We don't have any 50-point game totals. One's 46.5, the other one's like 42.5. We have the two of the best 3 defenses in the league play this week. With Milton Williams being back, the the Patriots defense has been really, really good, right? So I I think that there's a chance that it's like a grinded out style of game. And the reason I have so much AJ Barner is because I just believe that the Seattle Seahawks, if they get to the 2-yard line, that they're gonna continue their trend of not giving the ball to Kay Walker, and they're just gonna let AJ Barner run the ball in. Like just two sticks from the do double tush push, like the Eagles used to do. I could totally see them doing that. I'm not saying I'm rooting for it. I mean I kind of am because my bags say to do that. But everyone is all in on K9 this week. I understand it. I hope that that's true. He was awesome last week, but I do also think that K9 gets there more in the receiving game than the run game. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Like he had 60 some yards receiving against the Rams the last time they played, and I think he had a really big game, like something close to like 40 yards the time before that. So I am pretty in on that being a scenario. Yeah, we'll just take the chalk here. These are engage 8s we're doing at the moment. So yeah, so like I've mixed in Evan Ingram on the 2 tight end teams too. I think that those tight ends in the last round, like Evan Ingram, Terrence Ferguson, Tyler Higbee, even Arroyo, like I think that if they get a touchdown and 20 yards, they could easily outperform a lot of the wide receivers down there. Like they could outperform Mac Hollins or Cooper Kupp, Shaheed, all those players. Now, this is a low-scoring slate to where it's just red zone touchdowns. I haven't done this yet, but I do want to do a naked, like, take Stafford opposite of JSN and then go double Rams tight ends at the end. I think that that's also something I want to do. Something other people have been avoiding is taking both running backs for the Patriots. I think that could be a leverage point. So we're going to do that here. I ain't scared. That's what I'm not scared. So we're going to take the second running back there, and we're taking my boy, the one and only Pat Bryant. We don't have a Seattle piece here. We might not take one. I might just take one of the, I might take Arroyo. I think he's worth mixing in at a low volume, but this team's already unique with the Travion plus Hendo. I think I just want the other, the Rams piece here. I think that's what I want. So, like, if I didn't do the double New England running team, I think we would be doing Arroyo. I also really like Stidham in this. I know a lot of people aren't big for Jared Stidham, but man, like, the Patriots' run defense is awesome. We'll do Higbee on this one. So we got Stafford plus Puka. We got Higbee. We have both New England running backs, and we have the Pat Bryant bring back off of that side. And we're joining another Engage 8 right now on the phone. I have 2 more to do, I think. And then we'll start doing the hurry-ups, assuming they're still available. And I want to thank everybody for popping in here. It was short notice. I actually even scheduled the stream for the wrong time. I scheduled it for PM instead of AM. But I mean, I set it up and I went live like 5 minutes later. So there is that. We have Rick Cruiser here at the 103. And like, I do need to check my exposures. Like, let's go do that in another tab here. So I've only done 41 of these this week. I bet done less. So my exposures now: Pat Bryant 1, Devontae Adams, Travion, Booty, Hunter Henry. So my Barners went way down. I actively took less of him because I noticed where I was at, and I do think like I want Barner and Hunter Henry to be my top two for sure. Kenneth Walker is up here. Like I really like him. I actually landed I've in my 41 drafts, I've been pretty lucky. I've landed a Puka Adams Stafford team, and I've landed a Kenneth Walker plus JSN team. So I feel pretty good about that. I did try to push Sam Darnold to round 5 in that one, and the guy at the end who already had he already had RJ Harvey. He ended up taking Darnold and backstacking him, which is fine. I estimated the odds. I could have taken Darnold with Walker and JSN, but RJ Harvey came back, so I thought that I might as well do that as well. So we went with that team instead, and we pushed around the corner, or we tried to push and we failed. I don't regret it because I like Jared Stidham. Like I've talked about it on my So Jared Stidham I have at 29%, and I have Sam Darnold at 29%. I've basically been pushing quarterback every chance I can. Let's go with this is going to be a one running back team. I might end up going double Rams tight ends here. If I get Darnold back, I may just go 2 Rams tight ends. If I don't get Darnold back, I will easily pivot over to Jared Stidham. So like I have zero problem with that. I think that there is like I said earlier, there is a chance that Drake May gets going in the run game. The Josh Allen had 66 rush yards last week versus this defense. I don't really see it being. Let's see. So we could just do the double stack. I think here is a time. We're going to take Barner, and then we're going to take Darnold. And I think we're going to go ahead and do Terrence Ferguson with the last pick. What's Stack doing over here? Okay, so so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Terrence Ferguson or Tyler Higbee, whichever one. So we're going to do what we were talking about earlier. We're going to push it. Like we got the double stack here. We have the Kyron. I think taking another piece up from this game kind of makes sense. I think that the Rams have shown that they will use their tight ends in the red zone. They've definitely leaned towards that a little more since the Devontae Adams injury. Like it could easily swing back the other way. And as you've seen, I really like Devontae Adams this week. The last time they played, the Rams scored I think Stafford had 400 yards or something. 457 yards, 3 touchdowns, 49 pass attempts. And that was a game without Devontae Adams. And I believe that might have been the game that Parkinson had 2 and Higbee had 1. I'm not positive, but I think that was the week that Parkinson had 2 touchdowns and Higbee had 1. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take Terrence Ferguson here. We got Sam Darnold, we got Kyron Williams, we have JSN, Cortland Sutton, and then we went double tight end with AJ Barner and Terrence Ferguson. That was my last Engage 8. We'll look and see what Rick Cruiser done here. Kenneth Walker, Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Steph Diggs, Mims plus Stidham. I love this. 3 Patriots, Mims 2 touchdowns, Stidham. I'm calling him Tommy Lee Jones, just so you know. We're going to refer to him as Tommy Lee Jones from now on. If you don't get the reference, say something. If you do get the reference, you can just laugh along with me. We are going to the Hurry Up 2, and we're going to join in 10 seconds. And I'm going to take a refreshment. You mean it's just Jim McMahon's vibes? I'm just calling him, like, the Tommy Lee Jones to me is pretty funny. We got Rick back. He got the dreaded 4-hole. I do think that the 4 spot is so much worse. Like, just so much worse than every other spot. Because if somebody's in the 3-hole and they don't respect the same, like, you either have to take a quarterback at 4-5 and pull them up the board, or you have to consign yourself to taking Stidham. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. I'm very willing to do that. So I think my teams from the 4, like, feel better. But, like, if you have a smart person who's not worried about doing that from the 4-hole, and you're drafting at the 3, like, you get to let them make that decision at the 12-15 or the 12-13 almost always. And I talked about this the other day. So, like, you let them decide, do they want to take the very slight projected better guy in Sam Darnold, or do they want to push themselves to Stidham? And, like, unless, like, JSN falls to the 3, I'm going to push every single time. Like, I like Kenneth Walker stacked with Sam Darnold, but I'm also not going to prioritize it. I think it's something perfectly fine. And as we've seen throughout the week, I think more and more people have realized that, like, the difference between Darnold and Stidham shouldn't be that much, like, as much as it is. Maybe I'm wrong on this assessment, but it is how I've been playing. And I've been pushing the quarterback here almost every time. Yeah, we'll take Stevenson. I really, like, I take JSN Adams most chances I get. I'm not really heavy in, like I said, I've only done 40 of these. So usually I try to get to like 100 total. This week I'm not going to get there. It is what it is. I wasn't planning on doing like any, but they decided to drop hurry ups and engage 8s. And those are my jam. I love those. I was going to skip on the 2-game slate. I absolutely was going to skip the Wildcat. And if you're just popping in, if you could smash the like for me, that would be awesome. We got 22 watching. We only have 8 likes. I know y'all are better than that. You guys know you're better than that. So I'm also, like, something else I do here is if I want Darnold, I intentionally pass Cortland Sutton around the corner. So I'm going to pass Sutton around and let this guy decide. And if he sends me Sutton back, now this guy, they're willing to go with Stidham. And now I get Sam Darnold a full round later. So I think we're actually going to do the double tight end thing again. We're just going to go Hunter Henry and Colby Parkinson here. Sorry, Rick. I've been talking about, I think double tight end this week is actually sharp. We'll see how stupid I look later. Like, if we go by projections, like Evan Ingram is projected for less than either one of these guys. and they're ahead of a lot of these wide receivers, right? And in my eyes, I kind of think that Matt Collins is going to be used as a decoy. Like, I think they're bringing Matt Collins back to give the big body guy to Patrick Surtain. We've seen the Chiefs do this in the past with Juju Smith-Schuster and Rashee Rice. So, absolutely, man. Like, dude, it's not that I'm a madman. I don't have things holding me back, right? Like, and I'm not talking negatively about being in a relationship or having kids. I just don't have those things to stop me from being a complete degen. Like, if I did, I'm sure I would be less of a degen, like, for sure. But I don't, so I can degen as hard as I want. Best of luck. I'll talk negatively about both. I can't, like, I just can't do that. I don't come from a place where I have that ability. I know what's happened in my past. I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah. We got Sam Darnold with JSN. We got the Colby Parkinson bring back. Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, and we have the Marvin Mims on the opposite side of that. Dak here has Jared Stidham with Cortland Sutton. Like I said, I like to pass it, and then that makes them more comfortable. Like, if you take Sutton here, this person will almost always take Darnold because it makes them feel less comfortable to take Stidham. And doing that allows you to get Sam Darnold in the 5th round pretty often. So I really like passing Sutton to the 4 hole if they chose to not take a quarterback. It's like, hey, if you want to play nice, I'll play nice too, right? And if they take Darnold, I actually prefer Pat Bryant to Sutton anyway. So, like, for me specifically, it works out perfectly. So they got Kyron, Travion, Stidham, Adams, Sutton, and Arroyo. I like the Arroyo as a one-off here and there, especially when some asshole takes 2 tight ends. All right, we're doing another one, and we're going to join in 10 seconds. Let's try it. Let's see if they allow us to do it. We've been doing it from the phone because the location error, but let's see right meow. Damn you, underdog. Fix your shit. Location error all day. It's been like a month now. It's been like a full month of location errors for me. We got the 101. Dak got stuck at the back again. He's in timeout. All the way in the corner. Hope you learned something last draft. Apparently, the underdog gods did not think you learned anything, so they stuck you back there. Do better this time. That's all I have to say. I know this is this is a wild thing, but I just kind of looked up at the names, and I don't know why RDF RDE Falco Jr. Yeah, that RDE Falco Jr. I'm not sure what that means, but at first glance, like here, whenever I kind of glance over to look for the names that I know, I didn't know that name, and for whatever reason, my mind went to Rafflecopter, which is way more letters than that. But like, you have an R, you have an FL, you have an O, and you have an R to finish it off. And that's how your mind puts words together to read fast. So to me, this is Rafflecopter. Let's see what Rafflecopter does today. Like my last 10 drafts, either 3 or 4. I like the 3. But the 4 does suck. Like the 4 really sucks this week. And it's not every week. I think picking at the back is the worst. I thought picking at the back was the best spot this year in best ball, and you know what? I was right. I just took all the wrong guys. I just thought BTJ was a slam. He was a slam. Like you slammed him to the bottom of your queue, and you never thought about him. That was the right way to do it. Not put him at the front of every queue and take him at a 15% clip. That was the wrong way to do it. If you want more bad advice, you can follow me this year. I like Brian Thomas. I was right about the offense exceeding. The only player I wasn't in on is the one that succeeded, Travis Etienne. So like, that was bad. Could have been it really couldn't have been much worse. Like, to be honest. All right, so we're gonna do something a little different here, something I haven't done yet. We are gonna take Stafford and we're gonna pull Hunter Henry up. So this is a hurry up. It's actually a half a hurry up. I didn't even look at that. So it's half of a hurry up. So first is 1,000. So that's even more of a reason to that's my bad. I assumed it would just be the 7,600, but it wasn't. That's why it's filling so fast. Was the Engage 8 that way too? Was it only half of an Engage 8? I didn't look. I just read Engage 8, and then I made 8 bad decisions. So, like, I ain't gonna lie about it. I know what they are. 8 was 4,000. So it was normal. First $2,000 again. I'm getting ready. I'm looking at it on my phone. Yeah, so it was its base structure. The Engage 8 is the contest where I got my horns. So I have a soft spot for it. I will probably forever max the Engage 8. Like forever. Forever and ever. Forever. All right, so we got yeah, we're gonna get a little wild in this one, I think. All right, so I don't want Booty with Henry on this team. I think we take Pat Bryant here. Blake Corum like refuses to catch passes. But we're gonna take him, and we're gonna take Jordan Whittington. We're gonna dumpster dive on this one. We're gonna do. This is the don't ever try this at home, kids draft. You might have talked about it already, but do you expect Big Board to drop again during the? It didn't drop during the conference championship. Last year, it dropped in exactly 26 minutes from now. So, if the Big Board drops while I'm here, we are absolutely slamming Big Board. Like, a Big Board before the games. So, the problem is that I honestly don't want a lot of you guys in here because I've already talked about what I want to do. But I'll do it either way. There's plenty of value based on those ADPs for things to happen. And I kind of I almost want my first one to be off stream so I can, because the spreadsheet that I have with my ranks, I'm going to input where every pick is. So this is the some shit happened draft. Like, Corum doesn't make sense on this team because you have both Rams receivers, right? I don't see a world where the Rams score 40 and the Seahawks score like 12, you know. I also have an inkling that for whatever reason they're not going to use Kenneth Walker on the goal line. They just refuse to do it. If you remember, weeks and weeks ago, they kept bringing George Holani in to run between the 20 and the 10-yard line. And like every time it was like when they got to the red zone, but not inside the 10, like it was George Holani's time. And like Cam Akers and what's his name? Velus Jones was both elevated as well. So like I was gonna be heavy on Holani, but I actually do think that they may like Holani in the backup Sharps role more than we think. So I do want some, and this has to be in a 3,700 field tournament. This has to be the only Whittington Holani team. Nobody else is that insane. Like, that's something I should have done in the big contest, to be honest with you. The fullback dive is still available, huh? I'm not going to do it, but the Engage 8 still only half full. Nice. The hurry up 2, we're joining in 10 seconds. Oh, wow. This thing is smashing through. All right, so we get the 102. Buster Boys, he's everywhere, always everywhere. Let's increase the size for you guys. A little size increase just for you guys. All right, the poll. We got 13 votes. We got 22 watching. How many inches did you get last night? 0 to 3 seems to be the answer. 62%. 3 to 6, 8%. 6 to 9, 0. 6 to 9, intentional numbers. And there's snow everywhere. Is what I would have voted if I could vote. That is a 36. I just felt like having a little fun with the poll this week. Ladies love the size increase for sure, right? Snow just starting in Maine. I live in Illinois, and let me tell you, the snow started yesterday, and it was just kind of flurries. And I have a roommate, and I was like, oh, like, so basically everywhere has been broadcasting this like it's going to be the day after tomorrow, right? So I've been telling everybody I'm going to die. This is how I've been handling it. Like, do you hear it's supposed to snow? I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to die. That's how I handle it. And then they either laugh and make jokes, or they avoid me, and I didn't want to talk to them anyway. So, so, like, the people who get mad about stuff like that, like, I don't want to hear them be all frantic about it anyway. So I'm just gonna help them along. Yeah. All right. I talked about wanting to do this earlier. Do a JSN with Stafford and then double stack Rams tight ends. This will be the team that I do that on. You're from Portsmouth, fellow Pats fan. Nice. This poll feels personal. have to go with the most impressive number there. How you doing, Josh? I assume you're coming over from the Nice and Blunt stream from yesterday. I like his stuff. Like, he's just super chill guy. I'm sure in the future him and I will collab on some stuff. All right, so I do like, if I'm going to double tap tight end, I do want Parkinson. If Parkinson goes, I'm not going to double tap tight end. So I will take Parkinson here. I will wait until the last round to take another tight end, and I will take my boy Pat Bryant, who was on pace to have 35 receptions and 350 yards and 3 touchdowns last week before he got hurt. You know, that was his pace. It didn't happen, but that was his pace. Little Jordan Humphrey caught a touchdown, which he fully assumed Bryant's role. He also dropped a touchdown. Pat Bryant wouldn't have dropped the touchdown, so he would have at least got 2. And because he's Pat Bryant and not Little Jordan Humphrey, he would have absolutely got a 3rd target. So I'll cut it short. I'll say 350 and 3 touchdowns. You know, just like an NFL playoff record. Nothing big. That is what was going to happen had he not got a concussion for the 2nd time this year. There's no argument either. Like, that's just what's going to happen. I think everybody sees it. Like, nobody's going to talk about like we don't even have. You don't even really have to say it. Like, it's just a fact, right? It's just a fact. But no, like, seriously, like, he had 3 targets on like five dropbacks, something like that. Had 32 yards. His line jumped between 30.5 and 32.5. I got it at 31.5. He got a concussion on the first drive and hit us over. That is insane. That's insane stuff. And we're going with T. Ferg. Like, I choose T. Ferg over Higbee whenever I can. So this is the team I specifically was calling out earlier that I wanted to build. So we built it, and we can not build it again. We got the Stafford double stack tied in with the JSN bring back. And then we have Ramondre and Pat Bryant from the other game. Pretty solid little team there. You've seen me build like 3 double tight ends today. I think that's enough. I think I'm done with the double tight end thing for now. Let's hit refresh. You know, so the fullback dive did fill. So we will do the hurry up. Oh, and we're going to join in 10 seconds. And by the way, I did mention earlier that I got a single JSN Kenneth Walker team. It couldn't have happened in a better contest. It happened in the extra point. It happened in one of my 2 single entries. So that boo is not for it happening in the single entry. That boo is absolutely for underdog failing once again. I've cleared the cache 3 or 4 times. I reinstalled the browser. I turned it, like, I've updated the PC. I've done everything. Nothing works. I don't know why. Something is going on. Maybe it's because maybe it's because I've refused to upgrade to Windows 11. I'm still running Windows 10, so maybe that's why. Maybe they're trying to get me. Maybe Underdog is really in charge of Windows. Maybe that's what's going on here. All right, so we once again get the 101. I can't complain. I'm having better luck than Rick is, that's for sure. Hopefully in the non-drafts with me, Rick is having better luck. Like, I don't think the 4 spot is bad because of the backgrounds. I think it's bad because I feel like there's a pretty steep cliff. Like, I think that Walker, Stevenson, and Harvey are like, I think Walker, Stevenson, and Kyron are pretty, like, reasonably close. But I think that Walker is definitely, like, a tier above, but it's like a small tier. And like Puka JSN, like in dailies all year, they've been first rounders, you know? So like it, and we still have them. Like they're both matchup proof. So like I'm in. Absolutely. We land a Stafford Adams Puka. Hell yeah. Let's see how this crash and burns. Guess what I'm not doing here? I am absolutely not taking 2 tight ends at this one. That is not happening. Yeah. Well, I'll have to thank him later. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoy it. I try to have a good time. I do a lot of drafts. I do a lot of content. It might not be good content, but I have fun. So I've had a little success this year in the dailies. Like I said, I got my horns this year. I finished top 6 in a Wildcat. I finished at 6 in a Wildcat. I finished 2 weeks ago. I finished 2nd in a hurry up for 1,000. So like I've had a little bit of luck this year. All right, so here's the problem. We're now either also taking Blake Corum or we're going down to a McLaughlin or a Helani, right? My other Matt Stafford Puka Adams team has Helani on it. I specifically remember that. I think Kayshon Boutte is a really good pick here. I'm gonna go ahead and take Kayshon Boutte. And at running back, I don't really love taking Blake Corum here. I kind of want to do Helani again. Yeah, like it's like there's definitely skill involved because like you need to find some spots that you like. The funny thing is both times that I've been up there, my number one exposure for the week was the player I was rooting against, like going nuclear to drop me. So like I play a reasonable amount of volume. I do have some takes, and a lot of the like some of them miss, some of them hit. Like the week that you had to have Jahmyr Gibbs at the 101, I had Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Like that was one of the weeks. Some other weeks, like I mixed in some things. Like my success is mostly about like you can make stands, and then you mix in different builds around your stands. So like if you really like a running back, take some people you hate with that running back. Like I didn't like, it was week 2. I wasn't in on the Jared Goff double stacks that much that a lot of people were talking about. He was pretty low owned. But I wouldn't have got to Jared Goff if I didn't take Gibbs plus Amon-Ra. But I got Gibbs plus Amon-Ra, and that forced me into Jared Goff. And Jared Goff was the number 1 quarterback by like 6 points or something that week. And although Gibbs wasn't needed, I probably wouldn't have pushed myself to Goff if I didn't have Gibbs. So like the difference of me getting like if I didn't have Gibbs and I had the other running back there, I would have got first. But if I did that, I wouldn't have taken Goff, and Goff was the separator that week. So like it's there is luck involved. Like I really liked Amon-Ra that week, but I didn't like I started off the week not liking him, and as it got closer, I definitely liked him more and more. So like being fluid and changing what you like. We're joining another hurry up in 10 seconds. Like you got to be open to news as it comes in. So like that is the biggest thing I've learned is you have to absolutely be open. What in the world? Did it close already? All right. It wasn't letting me in on my phone either. Okay. It let me in on my phone now. Like, I don't know. It completely crashed. Sorry if anybody was trying to get in that one. Can't really bet in your state, but it's tempting with the NFL knowledge. You must be. I don't know what state that is. And like the draft games are a little different too. Like I know there are several states that like don't allow sports betting, but some of the draft games are allowed because it's considered like the DraftKings fantasy slate stuff. Washington, that makes sense because I think a guy named Ben Gretsch, who is a really good listen. He lived in Washington, I believe, and he would. So I don't know if you do best ball? Do you understand best ball? Are you interested in best ball? Like what you can do if you are. I don't like playing this way, but if I had to, I would. You can always drive across state line, load up 10 to 15 slow drafts, and then you can draft them that way. Because you can still make picks while you're in your state. As long as you cross the state line, like if you're close to a state line, you could go over into that state, geolocate, sign up for a bunch of drafts. You're probably going to get in with a bunch of the same people. Like for the weekly stuff, that doesn't help. But for the stuff that's all summer, you can do that stuff like that. BJ around 50-50, blackjack. Nice. My best friend lived in Washington for a while. Like he lived in Seattle. He was a Navy guy. You can pick anywhere. The draft will only fire if you're in state. Yeah, exactly. So like as long as you like if you sign up for 20 of them, you just need them to fill, right? Like, and once they I believe once you put in for it, like you get it. I'm not positive there, but I do think that that's true. So here's the question: do I take Stafford and hope that the Puka guy pushes him, or do I take Adams? Like, I really want a Stafford Adams, but I don't. I probably wouldn't take Adams if he came back around if the guy here took Stafford. And that's probably what I should have done since that's kind of the build I wanted. But I didn't have the cojones to do it. That moral of the story, you got to have the cojones to do it. I didn't have the cojones to do it. I do think that in theory, like if you had that option 10 times, that probably 4 to 6, probably about 50-50, that the guy doesn't double stack Rams without Stafford. But with it being close to close, I assume that a bunch of people are auto drafting as well. So I don't really want a lot of I do think I do like the tight ends for the Rams. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if I just got Stafford, right? We've talked about me liking the tight ends for the Rams. I don't know which one to like the most. I kind of like the low owned percent chance of Ferguson to hit. Like he's got a long target like most games. I will definitely take Hunter Henry if he's available. If he's not available, do I want to go Kayshon Boutte? We're going to go Blake Corum here. and then we're going to take Sam Darnold. So, like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to take a random tight end at the end here. Yeah, so we have Sam Darnold to JSN. We have Adams and Corum. This might just be an Arroyo team. I mean, if AJ Barner comes back around, it's an AJ Barner team. I'll tell you that. But like, I'll just take one of these two. Come on, guy. You definitely want Stidham plus the double stack with Evan Ingram. I know what you want. You want Evan Ingram. You definitely want Evan Ingram. I can hear it. I can hear it right now. Tyler, okay, you didn't want AJ Barner. Look at that. We get AJ Barner back on the team. That makes it feel so much better. So we got Sam Darnold, double stack, AJ Barner plus JSN. We have Blake Corum and Devontae Adams, and then we have a solo Travion Henderson. Of the teams I've built today, I think I like this one the most. What's crazy is I haven't taken a single Jared Stidham on stream today. And I actually really like Stidham. It's just that I've been picking it too a bunch. And I do really like having Darnold whenever I have the chance to stack them with we're in another draft room, by the way. These are firing so fast that there's really no reason to try to time them. And if you're just popping in, if you like the content, think about subbing. And at minimum, smash the like for me. I assume most of you guys are too busy multi-tabling these. We got Captain Caveman. Captain Caveman 7S. Is that what that is? 75. Got it. Captain Caveman 75 at the 104. He was at the 101 last time. While we're on stream, I'm going to go look at something as well. We got Puka Nacua. All right, so we're going to do something a little different after this. We're going to run over to Drafters. We have a pick'em, a free pick'em to make. All right, a Kyron Williams over 0.5 rushing yards pick'em to make. And they have a promo going right now for NFL Conference Championship. Guess the player who has the longest rushing touchdown and the total amount of yards of the touchdown in today's game. Correct pick wins a $5 pick'em. If you get both correct, you win $100 pick in pick'ems. All right, so we'll take Stafford. We'll just go with the chalk here. We'll go Stafford Harvey. We'll get different later. These are going to be pretty common, Stafford, Puka, Harvey, but this is under 4,000 people in this contest. So like, and that's something else, Josh. Understanding like a way to get like success in these are you have to understand the contest size and how much it matters to get super unique in that specific tournament. Like I've also finished top 5 in the Deposit Kingdom twice. Because like I will scroll in the Deposit Kingdom. It's a 3 max, $10. First is 1,000. Like I'll scroll a little bit there, but like I'm not going to scroll a lot. We're going to take Colby Parkinson to double stack with Puka, and we're going to take a rare Cooper Cup thing. But like, I'm not going to do a deep scroll in a contest with 900 entrants or with a contest that has like 3,500 entrants like this one. Like the Jordan Whittington plus Helani thing was probably a bad idea, to be honest with you. I just felt like doing it, so I did it. That was me just throwing away $3. Now, in a large field, like if that was a Wildcat with 18,000 entrants, stuff like that is more viable because you have to hit the absolute nuts. And having one, and if you have a very, very chalk start, like so if everybody I've taken at the beginning of the draft are people who are basically at exactly at ADP, those are the times that I'm going to make the deeper scrolls. Like if I'm going to do like the 100 of them, if I have a combination, I want to make sure not to get that combination. And if I just take the top guy at the end, most likely somebody else has that combination, right? So we'll take a Mac Hollins share here. I haven't taken, this is my first Mac Hollins share. So this team, we have Matt Stafford, RJ Harvey, Puka, double stacked with Colby Parkinson. We have the Cooper Cup bring back, and we have Mac Hollins, opposite of Harvey. So, like the theory on it is, if you take a guy who is exactly at ADP in rounds 1, 2, 3, and you have 3 more rounds, those are the times that it's more beneficial to try to scroll once or twice. And like the further you scroll, and like don't like scrolling too far, like there is a way to scroll too far, right? But did the hurry up fill? All right, well, anyway, so we'll finish that and then we'll come over here for a minute. So like if your ADPs are all basically aligned with or the picks are all aligned with ADP, like the first 3 or even 4, like that's when you want to take like a double scroll swing. And like somebody with the ADP of like 34.6 is considered a scroll. You don't need to take 2 people that are like completely undrafted. You just need to take 2 guys who were like drafted 10%, because the combination of those 2 guys together is very, very low. If they're being drafted 10%, it means they still project reasonably well. So like mixing that stuff up and knowing when to scroll, it matters, is a lot of it. All right, so we're going to do the conference championship challenge real quick. Patriots versus Broncos, Rams versus Seahawks. The players who will have the longest TD rushing or receiving. So Rashid Shaheed's return did not count last week. And the total amount of yards in the TD in today's games. To get the player correct. And by the way, if you're new and you don't have an account over on Drafters, you can sign up on Drafters using promo code WHO, that's a capital H, 2 little O's, for a 100% deposit match for up to $100. You don't need to do anything except for reply to this message to get in on this. You get the player correct, you win a $5 pickup. You get both correct, you win a $100 in bonus funds, which is super cool. So we are going to do who do I think this week? I mean, Kayshon Boutte is probably the reasonable, like the one, like, so unlike King of the End Zone, where you're trying to guess a player who's less owned to get a bigger share, this one you just want the guy who's like probably the most likely to do it. And you know who's probably the most likely to do it? Puka Nacua. Actually, JSN. Jackson. How do you even spell Jackson's big thing, Jigba? It's Jaxson, I believe. Jaxon. Got it. Jackson Smith and Jig. Is it with an S? If it's with an S, Underdog has it wrong. NJIGBA. And I'm going to say 56 yards. There we go. We are signed up for nothing. This guy, Travion Henderson, 56 yards. I hope so. Puka, 48 yards. That guy's right there where I am. So we got pick'ems over here. Kyron Williams, free pick'em, over half a yard. Stuff I like this week. Stafford, completions, do that, or attempts. They don't have attempts on Stafford. Yeah, Jackson is. That's what it is. That's why it's confusing, because Dart came in the league and confused all of us. Yeah, that's kind of like I used to know, and then the Dart come in the league and ruined it. They absolutely ruined it. I blame Jackson Dart for this. It's all his fault. He's the culprit for sure. Like, no questions. Shocker. Somebody's gonna pick Pat Bryant overs. You've never seen that on this channel before, ever. The chat seemed to like Travion Henderson. Longest rush, 10.5. Rushing plus receiving. Interceptions thrown, kicker point, long completion, longest reception. Let's look at longest receptions. I kind of like RJ Harvey's longest reception. Mac Hollins, Adams, Puka, 25. We could just double down on the JSN touchdown, right? Let's double down on the JSN touchdown. The Rams' pass defense has been a lot worse recently. Like, I think there is like, I didn't do this, but I think you could easily argue that JSN should be the one this week. Yeah, I think I like JSN over on the longest reception. They don't even have attempts this week. They have completions. They don't have completions for Stafford, they just took Stidham down, which was the other one. Those were the two I liked. We will go with longest rush. Like, I like the Drake May longest rush too. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a little 10x. Kyron Williams, the free square. Pat Bryant over receiving yards. JSN longest reception. Drake May longest rush. We're going to do $10 on that. We're going to process it. And I don't know how to share here. If I could share the link for you guys, I would. I can't do that. Back to Underdog. Actually, let's look and see what's in the lobby over here. We have nothing under $530. I think we'll pass. Hard no. Hard no. Let's actually just leave the site. Let's make sure we don't click any of that. It wouldn't let me because I don't have the money in there. So the hurry up to isn't filled, but it isn't letting me join for some reason. Okay, it's letting me join now, it looks like. Maybe. Okay, no, it's not. It is full. Guess we'll do a mini royale. We're doing a mini royale, and we're going to jump in 10 seconds. We might have to cut the stream short because I wasn't planning on betting this much money today. But we've done it. We're here. We're having a good time. And, I mean, we're just getting all the 101s, too. So, like, it's hard to stop whenever you're getting all kinds of 101s. Uh, and by the way, Joss, if you want, I talked about that spreadsheet yesterday. I know you say you know football and all, but information is always good. In the description of the video, I'm doing it right now. There's a free Discord. I just put the link in the descriptions. If you want to join, you can jump in there. We're usually chatting in the hangout section during games. Sometimes we talk about live bets. We talk about like what we have to sweat, all that stuff. So it's a good time. A lot of people who know ball are in there. You're welcome to join. Discord is free. But I do put a couple charts out and stuff that I make throughout the season. It's not like a whole bunch of it, but the first one is usually pretty nice. I am staying warm for sure. You can't see, but I actually have a blanket on in my chair. So the room I'm in stays very, very cold at the winter. This room used to be a garage, and the floor is concrete. And I have a hardwood laying on top of it, but it doesn't have it just has the thin layer of the blue padding in between. And the concrete actually extends outside into like a little patio. So whatever temperature that is, it's like half of that temperature on the floor at all times. So I have like multiple blankets on the floor. So this guy doing exactly what I was saying earlier. But I think the Puka Adams without Stafford is going to be pretty unique. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to take RJ Harvey here, and we're going to set up the steady. Oh yeah, I said steady. You're good. Like, call me Sean Payton. Like an old man with a blanket. Absolutely. I will say, like, I've dropped like a little over 100 pounds over the last year and a half, and I get so much colder. Like I was the kid that in the middle of winter, whenever it was like 0 out, I was stood outside waiting for the bus in shorts. Like, I still wear basketball shorts. I own one pair of pants. I just don't own any pants. And I think this year I may actually have to buy some. Hey, thank you. It's super nice. Like, I will say it's pretty awesome. Yeah, so we're gonna do the old Pat Bryant here, and we're actually gonna just straight up take Jared Stidham over Sam Darnold here, for sure. All right, we got another three wide receiver build. Like, I don't love the running backs this week. Maybe it's going to be my detriment. Maybe it is a running back week. If it is a running back week, I think you needed like Travion. Like, it's Travion plus one of the guys up top, or Kenneth Walker plus one of the guys, right? I don't think that the deep running backs have a big chance to get there. And if like the George Holani hits, it's because nobody else goes for like 18 points. It's because the 12 points was enough. All right, so we could take Evan Ingram here. I think we have to with this because we already have the Puka Adams. And we just say Denver rolls. We have Stidham. We have RJ Harvey. We have Puka, Adams, we have Pat Bryant, and we have Evan Ingram. Time for another mini Royale team. We're joining right now. If you want, like, you're strongly in favor of which philosophy? Are you anti-New England, sir? Yeah, even after adding up 15 pounds of eggnog. Yeah, I used to like just stay hot all the time, but like, yeah, like for me, it's like my legs don't get cold. Like the rest of my body can get cold, my toes can get cold, but like my legs, they just don't usually get cold. It's very rare that my legs are cold. And like I usually have a hoodie, and like I'll go outside. Like I'll go to work. Like I've been up at the front so much, I'm gonna pull Kenneth Walker up there. I'm starting to get low on Kenneth Walker and high on JSN and Puka. I do think that they're the better picks, but I want a reasonable amount of Kenneth Walker as well. But yeah, like I will like walk outside, start my car in shorts, and then I'll walk back out and like through the snow. I don't have a garage. I'll just walk out there. It doesn't matter, wind howling, whatever. I'm not scared. We'll do a Ramondre team with him. And then I'll just turn it on, and then I'll freeze for like the first 5 minutes of my drive. And that's it. That's what I do. We will go ahead and take the Cortland Sutton here. Setting ourselves up for either quarterback that comes back. I think I do want to do a Jared Stidham double stack here with the Ramondre. I've taken this probably with Pat Bryant a few times, so I'm probably going to pivot and do a Marvin Mims team here. I haven't gotten to any Lil Jordan Humphrey. I think Lil Jordan Humphrey is a complete, like, if Pat Bryant gets a concussion again, I think Lil Jordan Humphrey's fine. But I think that he only seen play because of the because of that. So we'll take Parker Washington here. And then we'll take Marvin Mims. And because we're guaranteed to get Stidham in the last round. I think this is going to be it for my drafts. I'm getting kind of stale on these drafts. There's not a whole lot of other things I want to do. I don't really care if I max these. I'm kind of like just rotating the same players over and over again, which that is a lot of what you want to do, right? Like you kind of rotate the players you really like, try to get all the different combinations, and then you slowly mix in the players you don't like. Like you haven't seen me take much Mims, but I like the other players. You haven't seen me take a whole lot of Cooper Kupp, but I've taken him, right? That's kind of what I like to do. So we got the Jared Stidham double stack with the Ramondre bringback. Then we have Kenneth Walker and Colby Parkinson on the other side. If you got, like, let's look at the pick'em I built last night that has zero chance to hit, but it is a lot of fun. Champions, live, upcoming. Okay. So number one, we have one that is live with a free pick from basketball. It's Kenneth Walker, longest rush, and Terrence Ferguson, 15 receiving yards. That basically pays for the rest of these. I got 10, 20, 40, 50, 65, 75 in entries. If that hits, I'm even for the week. We got this one. $15 pays 866. It's a Pat. I put this in the Discord too. It's got a 50% boost on it. Pat Bryant, Stevenson, Ferguson. We got the Stevenson fumble in here. That's a 4x. We scaled Terrence Ferguson up to 19.5 longest reception. You could scale his yards up, but I think if he gets to 20 yards, it's because he got a long reception. That doesn't mean he's definitely going to get 20 yards in one reception, but I think that he gets a downfield shot every week. Every week he's been active for like the last 8 weeks. He's got one shot that's like at least 15 yards downfield. And he is good, like reasonably good after the catch. So I like the odds to this happen based on like the multipliers you get, because I believe that the Terrence Ferguson longest reception, 19.5, it's a 1.6x now. It was like 1.9x. And Pat Bryant, I just put him everywhere. What's up, Dark Side? We just got done drafting. I think I've exhausted myself for drafting for the week. Gotta save myself for the big board. Let's actually make sure that the big board didn't drop, because this is about the time it would have last year. I 100% hope they wait until the games are over. Because if they drop it right now, I'm absolutely doing one. This is the one I built last night on stream. I'm not recommending anybody to follow it. It's $10 to pay $2,354. Ramondre fumble. No, this isn't the one. Yeah, that's the smaller one. I have this other one that's $10 to pay $6,000. It's a Ramondre fumble, RJ Harvey receiving yards, Halani rush yards, and the Ferguson longest reception. This one's probably, it's a more reasonable one, so I bet 20 on it. It's got the 60% boost on it. Shaheed 3.5. We built this on stream yesterday. Matt Stafford pass attempts, I locked that in. That was like a 1.2x at 40. He's had 40 pass attempts in 4 of his last 6 games. Kyron over on receiving yards makes sense. Diggs, we scaled the targets up just a little. I think with Matt Collins back, he does get targeted more. And then the Pat Bryant stuff. This is like a reasonable thing to hit. And it's 20 to pay 700. I mean, obviously it's not likely to hit. But of the ones I have, I do like this one the most. This is the most fun. Kayshawn Boutte, a 25-yard reception. Travion Henderson, a 25 total receiving yards. I think this is basically like betting the longest reception on him. But like it was the most you could bet at the time. There's another tier now. Kenneth Walker, highest longest reception, and Whittington on a long reception. So this is just that the games have more, like, have some big plays. Like, and these are the players that have the big plays. If all 4 of these players have a big play, we just turned $10,000 into $6,000, or $10 into $6,000. If work gets canceled tomorrow, I'll definitely be ripping big boards. Like our company, like Sherwin-Williams, like I believe, I'm not positive. I've only worked there 7 years, but I think some of the people have been there for 30 said that the places literally never closed down to snow, and they closed down to snow today or tomorrow night, or tonight as well, like today and tomorrow night, I think. And then I had a free pick 'em a little bit ago. I think I have another free pick, and we can build one as a group if you guys want. We got Anthony Edwards. I took Stidham on the pass attempts, Matthew Stafford on the pass attempts, and Kenneth Walker on the receiving yards. You kind of see, like, there are some things I like, and I'm kind of intermixing them randomly in things. I have another. Do I have another pick'em? Like a gimme pick'em? Apparently, I have another gimme pick'em. Do you guys want to build one? Like, if the chat wants to build one together, we can. If not, I might just pop off here and yeah, actually we're gonna ride with the ones we have. We have enough pick'ems right now. I'm also on DK. Let me go log into DraftKings. I didn't actually post any of these. Let me log in real quick. I'm not gonna bet anything on Lil Jordan Humphrey. He was and it's purely because he doesn't really get used when Bryant's healthy. Like he basically replaced Pat Bryant 2 weeks ago. I mean, that makes sense, but like Pat Bryant was actually Jared Stidham's #1 target in preseason. And I think I listened to the PFF betting stuff. Apparently, like I don't think this matters a ton. Apparently, Jared Stidham was the #1 rated passer in preseason this year. All right, so here are my wild bets this week. Double first touchdown, $5 bet. Kayshon Boutte, Terrence Ferguson. $5 pays a mere $2,325. So the Broncos start slow. And the Patriots, like, I think that they can get deep on them. I think that Kayshon Boutte could break loose. I think that they're going to try a shot play early. I think first touchdown to Boutte makes some sense. The Rams tight ends all popped a little bit on the PFF stuff for first touchdown. We know that they really like to target the tight ends in the red zone. Terrence Ferguson is plus 4,000 for first touchdown, and Kayshon Boutte was like plus 1,100. So this $5 bet pays $2,325. Is it going to hit? No. But I like it. I like it for the odds. We have this $5 bet that pays $1,435. We did just a bunch of stupid stuff this week. We have this is exactly what the PFF betting people said, and I added a Pat Bryant touchdown to it, which is plus 380. They had the alternate spread at Broncos minus 3.5. I scaled that down a little bit and added Pat Bryant to it, but they liked the Stidham pass attempts with the Stidham passing yards scaled up in a game script that means Drake May needs to run the ball. And then Denver Broncos are winning the game, and they bought it at 3.5. I think buying it at 2.5 makes some sense. And I just added the Pat Bryant anytime touchdown because I want to lose because I made a decision, not because they made a decision. This one, $5 for 380. This is exactly what they had. Like, I basically took what they had, added Pat Bryant, and then I bet what they wanted, and I scaled down that. So that is $5 pays 380. And then I bet Terrence Ferguson. Okay, it's against his plus 3,000. I bet him first touchdown by itself. I didn't bet Kayshon Boutte first touchdown yet. I bet this is a $5 that pays $5,800. George Holani, Terrence Ferguson, anytime touchdown. Kayshon Boutte and Pat Bryant, an anytime touchdown. 4 touchdowns. All you need is 4 touchdowns. That's it. That's all we need. Don't mind the names. Don't mind the names. But it's Holani, Terrence Ferguson, Pat Bryant, Kayshon Boutte, $5, almost $6,000. It's simple. Yeah, it's simple. Don't worry about the names. The names don't matter. Terrence Ferguson anytime. I like him a lot. I bet that whole thing as individual bets too, and that's what I have going today. That's all of my action. The old like I have the anytime touchdown here. I know I bet it at first touchdown up there. Like I knew I had it down here as an anytime, so I'm not going to double down the first touchdown. I'm just going to be very, very happy if Kayshon Boutte gets the first touchdown, and I'm riding for this, right? Like I'm very happy. So in total, I have basically, I think I have like $70 bet, and I could win like 14 grand or something. Like it's not going to happen, right? We all know it's not going to happen. But it's simple. All you need, don't worry about the names. Just $5. For George Holani to get a touchdown. I can't remember what his odds were. It was like plus 2,000 or something crazy. Oh, we get a first touchdown boost. Guess what we're doing right now? We're going back to the well. We're doing first touchdown boost. We're making the bet right here. Kayshon Boutte, first touchdown. Gotta pay the extra money because of that. Apparently, I'm gonna have to do that on my phone. But we're definitely making that bet. Now that we have that boost active. I don't know why that boost isn't showing up for me. But yeah, I like Boutte to kind of score a long touchdown. Today, I gotta sign in on my phone real quick to make the bet. So I wasn't going to double down on this, but we're going to, since we're getting the 30% boost on it. And like, yeah, I kind of like the Kayshon Boutte call for first touchdown. So $5 with the 30% wins me $89. Feels pretty solid. And that pretty much puts me even for the week. Like if that hits, that's basically covers all the ridiculous bets on DraftKings. But that's what I got. I'm not going to recommend. This is not financial advice to follow me. This is, you might want to call the number advice. So be responsible. Don't bet more than you can. But like, if you like fun, betting George Holani touchdowns, in my opinion, is fun. You're just riding the narrative that, like, that nobody wants this, right? Nobody wants them to still not give the ball to Kenneth Walker in the red zone, right? Everybody wants them to let Kenneth Walker just absolutely cook so everybody can be like, I told you so. But you know what they've done consistently all year? Remove Kenneth Walker in the red zone, except for last week when they had nobody else on the roster. So like George Holani to get a touchdown at 650, I just kind of like it with that narrative. So I was a little sad to hear that Cam Akers and Velus Jones come up for the practice squad. I just don't see Velus Jones being the guy. Like Holani profiles more like a Charbonnet than the other two, right? So I'm kind of in on that. And as always, Cam Akers is in a game, which means it's a revenge game. Yeah, I think that happens too. I kind of talked about that early. Like in my underdog stuff, I have a whole lot of like the 2 tight end stuff this week. Partially because I think AJ Barner is more likely to get, like, just as likely to get a touchdown as like Blake Corum. And if you're looking at Blake Corum, when you have a Stafford team, I like AJ Barner opposite of that a little more because I think he could get Blake Corum just doesn't receive in the Ram system right now. So I think if you have Stafford, taking Corum is like anti-correlation. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the recent trends get bucked. Like, let's go to Player Profiler real quick and let's look at Blake Corum's receiving for the year. Not Blake Corum. We got so receptions. 2 last week, or 2 weeks ago. 1 0 1 0 1. This shit's binary. Like from week 5 to week 18, his receptions are binary. 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1. I tried to talk like a robot. I'm not good with impressions. So he screwed up. He has 2 2s in here. He only has 2 receptions twice. But then you look at targets. Yeah. Hey, no problem. I think everybody's about to leave. I'm going to set up. Good luck, everybody. I'll catch most of you in the Discord. Have a great day. I will be back on. If they drop big board directly after this, I think it's 50-50 on as soon as the games end that they drop big board. If they do, I'm jumping on. If they don't, I will be on tomorrow at my normal time, 4 p.m. And I will be ripping big boards. I might even start early. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of show is this about? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about, Mike Rob. It's obviously a poll about snow. Like, look at it. It's obviously a poll about snow. It couldn't possibly be misconstrued to not be about snow. All right, so 0 to 3 is the answer. We got 19 votes now. I'll see everybody later. Peace.